Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter of class 7 science NCERT book from the chapter number 1, that is nutrition in plants. So before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that yesterday what we have discussed in this chapter. So yesterday we talked about the process of photosynthesis in the plants and how it is taking place, as there are two types of mode of nutrition which is taking place in the plant. That is, one is the autotrophic mode of nutrition and other one is the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So we are discussing about the autotrophic mode of nutrition, in which we know that the inorganic materials are present, the water is present, carbon dioxide is present, sunlight is present, chlorophyll is present, and that is going to help in the process of photosynthesis. Okay, so this is what is about the autotrophic mode of nutrition, which takes place only in the food factories. That is the part of the plant, that is the leaves. Okay, and why they are called food factories, this also we have discussed. Then we have seen the structure of cell, which means that cell consists of three parts. The outer boundary of the cell is said to be as a cell membrane, and then it is filled with the jelly like substance, which is said to be as cytoplasm, and then it has a centrally placed nucleus, which is also known to be as the brain of the cell, because it is going to coordinate, it is going to give command to the other parts of the cell. Okay, cell organelles are present. Cell organelles means these are the organs of the cell. Since the cell is only microscopic, we cannot call them as the organ. That is why they are said to be as organelles. Okay, so we'll discuss more about all these things. You will discuss more about all these things, organelles and all, so in the next in the higher classes. So this is not a part of your syllabus, that is why I'll not go in detail. I'll just go up to the today's topic, that is about one activity is being given over here as activity number 1.1, which says that is sunlight and the other materials are responsible for the process of photosynthesis or not. So this activity says take two potted plants. Potted plants means the plants which are present in the pot. They are being already growing in the pot. Okay. So we will take potted plants, and how many? Two potted plants you have to take. Keep one in the dark. So you will take two plants. One is present in the light and other plant. Okay. You will take two plants. Fine. So here what you are going to do, two plants are there, one is kept, keep one in the dark for 72 hours. Okay, for 72 hours, and other has to be kept in sunlight. This we are going to cover it in the dark, and other would be present in the sunlight. Okay, now what happens once it is present in the sunlight and other one is in the dark? Perform the iodine test with the leaves of both the plants which we have studied in class 6. Okay, so how this iodine test has been done. So we'll pluck one leaf from both of them. Okay, and from one leaf from this and one leaf from this, which was kept in the light. Okay, so what is there? We'll study about the iodine test. So we are going to perform iodine test in both of the plants. So what is this iodine test says? It is you are going to boil this leaf, then you will be all the chlorophyll would be just dissolved, and after that you are putting it in alcohol. Means before it is being treated with alcohol, then it is being boiled, and then iodine solution is being added to it. Now the plant which was the leaves which were you have to record the result. Okay, what result you will get, I'll just discuss it after a few minutes. Now leave the potted plant as earlier in the dark and keep it for sunlight for 2-3 days, and again perform the iodine test. Now again we have to do the same thing. You will exchange these plants, and then you will keep one other plant in the dark, and the dark plant would be kept in the sunlight, and again you will do the same experiment. What you are going to observe, you will see that the leaves which are present in the darker region, they have stored starch in them, and because of which iodine was this iodine was going to convert the starch, was reacting with the starch to form a blue black colored substance. And next, what was there, this iodine was not reacting with the plant which was present in the lighter region, this light region. Okay, so carbohydrate was being made, carbohydrate is being converted in the form of starch during night time, but it is being utilized. Okay, so this is what is about the iodine test. Now the plant which was kept in the sun will show blue black color. So it is which is present in the sun shows blue black color with the iodine, but in the dark, no color. It would be with the same color or colorless. So why this result was being shown? This result was being done because in the presence of sunlight, photosynthesis is being done. Was being performed, and as a result of photosynthesis, starch was prepared. And you are adding iodine to it. As soon as this iodine is added to the starch, it is going to give you the blue black color. Okay, this is going to give you blue black color. So this is what is about the iodine test, or the starch test also we do. Okay, so this was done with the help of the plants. But what happens during night time? During night time, this starch which was present in the daytime, it is getting converted. It is getting converted into the another form. It is the starch is again broken down to give energy. So there was no starch left because the plant is utilizing the energy during night time. Okay, now the leaves other than green also have chlorophyll. This was the answer. This is the answer for the question which I asked you yesterday, that whether the green plants other than the leaves which are green in color, they are having the they are having the plant chlorophyll or not. So yes, it is true that they are having chlorophyll. The large amount of red, brown and other pigment masks the green color. So they have green color, but they are, as you could see in the rose plants also, you can easily see that the plant is having the color. It is red in color, and after some time it is getting converted in the form of the green color. So why it is getting converted? You know that chloroplast, there are different colors present. Now these colors are interchangeable. So once they are red in color, after some time they become green in color. So the chlorophylls are getting synthesized. So chlorophyll is present, but it is not in that same green color. It is changing its color with the time. You often see slimy green patches in the pond or the stagnant body. Okay, if you keep the plant, if you keep the things, if you keep water actually, or moist places, there you will see that green color small plants are being generated over it. So this green colored growth of the plant is also a type of a very primitive plant, and they are known to be as algae. Okay, so these algae is going to be, they are also the green plants, but they are less advanced, I must say. So algae are there, they grow. Okay, they grow in water body, and because of which the complete water body becomes green in color. Okay, or if moist places, there you will see that if you are keeping a bucket full of water and then you are not cleaning it for some time, you will see that this green color structure would appear on the boundary of that on the boundary of the bucket. And then you will see, and this green color is also because of the plant. It is a plant, and this is known as the algae, and these algae is going to be present. These are also autotrophic in nature because this is green in color. They also have chlorophyll in it, and if they have chlorophyll, again they can do photosynthesis. Fine. So this was about the algae which is having green in color. Why it is having green in color? So it is having green in color because they have chlorophyll in it. Okay, so what is the synthesis of food? Synthesis of plant food other than carbohydrate. What kind of food is being synthesized? I told you that as a result of photosynthesis only starch is being prepared, but this is not true. What happens, the plants also synthesizes they also synthesizes they also synthesize other type of the food. That is, it could be in the form of starch, it could be in the form of carbohydrate, it could be in the form of the different materials like proteins. It could be of different other than carbohydrate also it is being synthesized. So what are the food material which is being synthesized other than the carbohydrate? We'll read that. So this was about the iodine test, children, and then I'll give you the result of photosynthesis. It results in food formation. So other than carbohydrate, the food which is being formed after as a result of photosynthesis. as a result of photosynthesis. So first was starch or carbohydrate. It is not only this much. It is most common. Okay, it is most common. But there are still some more types of food which is being synthesized by the plants, which are as follows. Okay, so the first food which is present over here, you have just learned that plant synthesizes carbohydrates through the process of photosynthesis. Through the process of photosynthesis, then after that, what happens? So the first food which is given over here is the carbohydrate, and then after that carbohydrate also certain other food products are being obtained. So you have just learned that plant synthesizes carbohydrate through the process of photosynthesis. The carbohydrates are made of carbon, hydrogen and oxygen. These are used to synthesize other components of food such as proteins and fats. So we came to know that beside this carbohydrate we also have proteins and fats. Okay, so this is also synthesized. That is why we can see that some of the plants they contain carbohydrates, some they have protein, some have fats in them. Okay, such as the oil seeds are there which have fats as a stored product. For example, mustard is there which has stored product as fat. Then proteins are there. We are using pulses every day. Okay, so these pulses are the main forms of this protein. So this has a stored product as protein. Just I wanted to tell you because we have just now saw that as a result of photosynthesis, the food is being prepared. But food could be of three types. That is starch, proteins, and carbohydrates. It could be starch most commonly, and after that protein, then fats are also stored. Okay, so some of the nitrogenous, but proteins are nitrogenous substances which contain nitrogen. Now the next question is, from where is this protein being synthesized? This protein is being synthesized because of the presence of nitrogen. This nitrogen, now from where is this nitrogen coming? This comes from atmosphere. Okay, so this nitrogen comes from atmosphere by the process of nitrogen fixation. So nitrogen is a very essential component for the plant, for the animals. They are necessary for the synthesis of protein, because proteins are only made in the presence of nitrogen. The plants would also grow because of the presence of this nitrogen only. So this nitrogen, from where they're getting? They would be getting this nitrogen from the atmosphere and by the process called nitrogen fixation. Okay. So this is known as the nitrogen fixation. Now recall that nitrogen is present in abundance in the gaseous form in the air. Yes. If you have studied in class 6, if you remember that, we saw about the components of air. Components. So children, we have studied about this components of air. Okay, so we know that the components of air, it consists of the nitrogen, oxygen, so many are there. So where if you see this component of air, there is 78% of nitrogen which is being present in the atmosphere. But this 78% of nitrogen being it is all being helpful in the formation of protein? No. So very few amount of this nitrogen is responsible. It is helping in the formation of the protein by the process of nitrogen fixation. Again, this nitrogen fixation is a very vast topic, and it is not given over here. So I just wanted to tell you that it takes place because of the presence of the bacteria. These special bacteria, they have a tendency, they have a machinery that they could synthesize, that they could even helpful, they are helpful in the, they take up this nitrogen and then they convert in this nitrogen into more simpler forms. So this nitrogen is a bigger molecule. As I told you that in digestion also, if we have to digest, we are not eating it, the complete apple we are not eating. We are just taking a small bite. Similarly, this nitrogen is a big component. So this is a complex molecule. So this complex molecule is broken down into a simpler molecule. Okay, so this complex molecule is breaking down into a simple molecule, and then it gives rise to the this helps in the nitrogen fixation, and again this helps in the nitrogen formation, and it is being stored in the form of the proteins, and then these proteins are being used by us. Okay, so recall that nitrogen is present in abundance in the gaseous form in the air. However, plants cannot absorb all the nitrogen from the soil. So this is the problem, that plants, the soil, the roots, they are not responding to these, to this 78% of nitrogen. So they need to break these 78% of nitrogen into small amount, and then what happens as a result of the breaking down of the small component of the nitrogen, this breaks down and forms nitrites and nitrates. Once this nitrites and nitrates are being formed, these nitrites and nitrates are being used by the plants in the presence, in the, because of the presence of the bacteria. These bacteria are going to help in fixing of nitrogen. So soil contains certain bacteria. These convert this gaseous nitrogen into a usable form. Okay, and this usable form is no is present again in the soil, and from the soil now the plants could absorb easily, and if they are absorbing easily, then they could be converting it in the form of the proteins. Okay, then after that what happens, these are being absorbed by the plants along with the water. Also, you might have seen farmers adding fertilizers. Now these fertilizers are also containing the nitrogen. Fertilizers, they are responsible for they also contain nitrogen compounds. Okay, so this nitrogen is ultimately a very essential molecule for a plant, even for us also, for human beings also. Protein is known to be as a bodybuilding food. Okay, so this protein is being made with the help of nitrogen, and this nitrogen is present in the atmosphere, which cannot be easily utilized by the plants or by the animals. So we can eat pulses easily, and we can easily synthesize the proteins. But if bacteria are not present, then plants are not able to synthesize. That is why these nitrogen fixing bacteria are present, which are in the soil. They convert the complex form of nitrogen into the simpler forms, and then the plants could absorb easily. Or from otherwise it is being added in the form of fertilizers. Okay, now in this way the plant you fulfill their requirement of nitrogen along with the requirement of the other constituents. Plants can also then synthesize proteins and vitamins. So vitamins and proteins are also being synthesized with the help of this nitrogen now. So this was about the nitrogen fixation in the plants. Even fats are also there. Fats are present in the form of the stored products, and the stored product could be of three types, as I have discussed just now. Okay, now I'll just give the another mode of nutrition in the plants are also there. So there are various other modes. So we have seen about the autotrophic mode of nutrition now in the complete detail. Now I'll move on to the another, we will move on to the another topic, that is another mode of nutrition, that is of the plants. The other mode of nutrition, modes of nutrition in plants. Okay, now what are the other modes of nutrition in plants, children? There are some plants which do not have chlorophyll. Okay, as I told you that these are the non-green plants, children. So these non-green plants, they are responsible. How they are going to photosynthesize if they are not having the chlorophyll? So they don't have chlorophyll. Okay, they don't have chlorophyll. So what happens if they don't have chlorophyll? Then how the plants are going to gain nutrition? And if they are present in the nature, they require nutrition, and if they require nutrition, they have to gain their nutrition from some source. Either they could synthesize the nutrition in their own, or they need to take up the nutrition from other animals, or or other organism. We are talking about plants, we cannot include animals over here. So next, there are some plants which do not have chlorophyll. They cannot synthesize the food. Okay, but they have to survive. Now how they are going to survive? So what happens, like humans and animals, such plants depends upon food by other plants. They for the food they depend upon others. So they are dependent, they have to be they depend on the other plants. or other organisms, I must write. So they depend upon other organisms. Like plants are dependent upon other plants. Okay, so here what happens, this type of mode of nutrition is said to be as the heterotrophic mode. So this is known as heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, so we can see, you can see a yellow wiry branch structure twining around the stem and the branches of a tree. This is a plant and this is known to be as cascata. It is also known as amarbale. So there is a plant called cascata. Okay, so there is a plant called cascata, and this cascata is able to utilize their, no, it is a non-green plant which does not contain chlorophyll, which contains, it is a yellow wiry small, it is a small plant, I mean it is a plant like, it is a twiner, it is a climber, and it is going to climb on the tree. Now what is so special about this cascata? Cascata is a parasitic plant. Okay, so they gain nutrition from the big tree, okay, or big plant from the other plant. This is known to be as a parasite. This is known as parasite, children. Okay, so these parasites, they undergo parasitic mode of nutrition. So what is this parasitic mode of nutrition? Parasitic mode of nutrition means where one organism depends on other living organism. Okay, so this cascata is a living plant. As it is a plant, so it is living. So these plants, they are going to be dependent upon other plants for their nutrition. Now this cascata is going to have roots. They have special roots, they have special absorbing roots. Now these roots, they are able to grow, they are able to go inside the plants. So they just extend their roots inside the plants, and then what happens, they are going to absorb the nutrients which is being prepared by the big tree. As a big tree can easily perform photosynthesis because it is having the complete machinery in it. It has leaves, it could absorb it could absorb the light, it could absorb water, it could absorb sunlight, chlorophyll it is already having, it could absorb carbon dioxide as it has the stomata in them. Now what happens, all these things, if it is present, then it could easily do photosynthesis, and if it could easily do photosynthesis, then there is nothing of any problem. Now what happens, the other plants like these cascatas, they are going to just entangled, they are going to grow in the support of this big tree. Okay, so what are they going to do? In turn, they are not going to giving anything. In turn, even they are absorbing, even they are stealing the things, I must say. Okay, so they are stealing the nutrition from the big tree. So all those animals, all those plants, all those organisms which depend upon other living organism for the food, for their nutrition, they are said to be as the heterotrophic. It is one of the heterotrophic mode of nutrition, and they are known as the parasitic mode of nutrition. Now two words you need to know. One is the host. Okay, one is the host and other one is the parasite. Now host parasite relationship is happening. Host is a plant which is a big tree from where the nutrition would be gained. Okay, and parasites are those which will live on that host. Both of them are living. Big tree is a host. Okay, this tree is a host, and cascata is a parasite. Okay, so this parasite is going to grow and they are going to eat up the things and from the big tree. Okay, now what happens, this big tree is going to photosynthesize and it is going to give some of the portion to this cascata. It is not giving, cascata is stealing the things. Cascata is taking up the nutrients from the big tree. Okay, so this comes under the process of heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Okay, so I think this might be very clear to you all now. So we will read further. These use heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Look to figure number 1.5, which is given over here. It is having the Amar bale on it. Okay, this is also known as Amar bale in Hindi. So you can see a yellow, wiry, branched structure twining around the stem and the branches of a tree. What does this plant? This plant is known as Cascata. Okay, this is also known as Amar bale. It does not have chlorophyll. So this is what the problem is. Actually, they don't want to steal, but there is a problem. What is the problem? The problem is that they're not having chlorophyll. If they're not having chlorophyll, then what happens? They need to take up the nutrient from somewhere. So they're going to steal because they cannot make their food. They have to be dependent upon others. So they depend upon one living plant. That is a big tree, which is going to they have special roots, absorbing root. These roots are going to drill and go in the tree trunk, and then they could absorb easily the water which is being taken up by the big tree, the food which is being prepared by the big tree. It is when it is being transported, it is being automatically being absorbed by these Amar bale. Okay, now the plants on which it climbs, it's said to be as the host. Please remember, the big tree is said to be as the host. Fine. And the organism which is dependent upon, the plant which is dependent upon this, is said to be as parasite. Okay, now the next thing is that since it deprives the host nutritional value, Cascata is said to be as parasite. Now children, please remember, all the parasites, they are going to harm the plants. They are going to harm the plants in turn, because they're catching the nutrient from them. They're collecting the nutrient from the plant. Okay, so if they're collecting the nutrient from the plant, then what happens? They are going to harm the plants. So this is what is the problem. Okay, so the problem arises, the problem is there, and then they are going to harm the plants, because they are going to they are going to kill the actually they are going to kill that big tree after some time. If they are absorbing the nutrients, if something happens to that big tree, it is not going to survive properly. Okay, now Paheli also wanted to know that mosquitoes, bedbug, lice and leeches, they suck the blood of the other animals. Are they the parasites? So if we talk about, the animals also are parasites. Now here what happens, one animal is dependent upon other animal. Okay, so that becomes a parasitic host and parasitic relationship. You can see that leeches are there, they suck the blood. Mosquitoes are there very commonly. You can see mosquitoes, they are a living organism. They are coming and biting us. They are sucking the blood of the human beings, they're sucking the blood of the animals. So they depend upon the living organism for their growth. So this is said to be as the parasite. Even the plants, even these mosquitoes are said to be as a parasite. Okay, now these parasites, they will be responsible for they're going to kill the organisms. If they're more in number, they're going to kill the organisms. Suppose that leeches are there, if so many leeches would be there, they're going to suck the blood of the animal. The animal would become anemic, and it would die after some time. So these parasites are always bad, they're always harmful. Children, please remember, they're always harmful. Now what happens, they will always they are going to kill the bacteria. They are going to kill the animals in the long go. Okay, so this is what is about host parasite relationship. We are studying about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now have you ever seen or heard that few plants eats animal? They are going to eat animals. So if you remember the plant, some of the plant, they are eating the animals also. Now, what are those animals? What are those plants known as? They are the animals in the case. I must say that small insects are there. Now, those insects are being eaten up by the insects are there. They are being eaten up by the plants. Okay, now such plants which eat insect, they are known as the insectivorous plants. Okay, those plants which are eating insects, they are known as the insectivorous plants. Now, have you ever heard and the plants eating insects or plants eating animals? Here, insects are also said to be as organisms. Now, next is that there are few plants which can trap insects and they could digest them. Okay, they could digest them. So these plants are said to be as the parasitic plant. These are said to be as the insectivorous plants. Now, children, I'll just discuss all these things in detail in the next class. I just tell you about that these plants are responsible. These plants are going to take up the organisms. These plants are going to take up the organisms, and such plants are also green in color. They could synthesize their own food. These insectivorous plants are also green in color. But they are, why they are eating my insects then? Okay, all these questions would be told in the next class, children. So what happens, these plants are going to catch up the insects, and these have a special these have a special jar like structure. They are said to be as a pitcher plants. They are said they are having pitcher like structure in them, and these pitcher like structures are modified part of the leaf, so they have a pitcher in them. Pitcher means ghada. Okay, so they have a pitcher like present in the, see, this is a plant. If it is a plant, so they have a pitcher like thing which is being present. Okay, so this is a pitcher. Now when, as soon as this also has a lid, as soon as the insects are sitting over it, it is going to be closed, and the insect which is getting here, what happens, this insect is going to be digested, and this gives them the nutrition. So why they are going to catch the insects, and why they are going to gain the nutrition, children, that is again a part of a question. I'll discuss all these things in the details in the next class, children. So that's all for today's video. I have discussed a few modes of few modes of heterotrophic mode of nutrition, in which we saw about the parasitic mode of nutrition, where one host is there, one parasite is there. So this parasite is going to eat up the food of host. Okay, so they are stealing the food. Cascata is one of such example. Okay, so next mode of nutrition is this insectivorous plants, which have they are going to eat insects. And now why they're going to eat insects, I'll tell you this in detail in the next class. So that's all for today, children. I'll meet you all in the next video.